REED-BBS, BBS. Berinchyk versus the BIDNESS man. We got Dennis Berinchyk, defending WBO lightweight champion, versus Keyshawn, the BIDNESS man, Davis. Berinchyk, 19-0, 9 KOs. Keyshawn Davis, 12-0, 8 KOs. Silver medalist versus silver medalist. And that's where all the comparisons end. Berinchyk, defending champion, as I said, WBO. He's of Ukrainian descent. And he was right there with the Vasily Lomachenkos, the Alexander Usyks, the Alexander Vozdiks. He was right there with those Ukrainian gentlemen doing his work, putting in his work. He won the title in his last fight against Vaquero Navarrete. Impressively, I might add. He wasn't favored, but here it is, this short Ukrainian dude. He got a little something. And he's the champ now. He calls Keyshawn the business woman. The BIDNESS woman. Keyshawn replies that Berinchyk is too small, and Keyshawn is boldly predicting a first-round KO. And when you see these two motherfuckers side by side, Berinchyk is the whittle guy. He's the whittle guy here. But the whittle guy ain't scared. He ain't scared of Keyshawn at all. At all. You saw he pushed him at the weigh-in, and he ain't scared. Speaking of the weigh-in, it's one thing for a guy to cut his hair. Fine, dudes have all types of hairstyles. But cutting your locks during fight week? Cutting your hair during fight week, and you're the significantly larger man, that tells me there could be some weight-cutting issues going on here. Young brother ain't gonna just cut a stylish look like that unless he absolutely has to, especially in the middle of fight week. He would have came to fight week with it like that already. I think the weight cut might not have been going as planned, so fuck it, let's just cut the hair. It'll grow back. Keyshawn, he's got this bug-eyed, aggressive, in-your-face energy. Like the video game, he's a space invader. I call him a space invader because he all up in a guy's personal space. Some guys, that is. Some guys. Now, Andy Cruz, Keyshawn's temperature is a little bit different. It's a little bit different whenever Andy Cruz steps into the room, bruh. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And just the other day, Keyshawn mentioned letting an Andy Cruz fight marinate. See how this works? You're all gung-ho, and you bout it, and you want it with these other dudes. You're salivating at the mouth like you're looking at a plate of food. Then Andy Cruz walking, oh, what's up, Andy? What's up, dog? And then his brother hugs and handshakes and shit. What's up with that? Marinate, nah. Keyshawn hasn't done nearly enough to be talking this marinate shit. Fuck no, you 12 fights in, bruh. Been impressive, you 12 fights in. And Cruz is highly ranked by all four sanctioning bodies too, so let's not talk like Cruz is, he's just began, but he's on that accelerated Lomachenko course. Cruz is, hell, he's trying to be a world champion before 10 fights. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't appear Keyshawn wants that Andy Cruz smoke, is what I'm trying to say. The whole bananas and watermelon thing here, the promotion took a sorry side turn, a detour. As y'all have heard, some shit was delivered to Keyshawn's room. A lot of y'all thought Keyshawn was drumming it up himself as a publicity stunt, which is some fuck shit on y'all's part to think his mind would go there. He'd be that desperate to promote the fight. But Berinchyk stood his ground saying he didn't do it. Motherfuckers was like, he can't even write and barely talk English, motherfucker. He ain't behind this shit. And there's rumors that Teofimo Lopez was behind this, inserting himself unnecessarily into a better, more talked about situation than he's currently in. I'm liking Teofimo Lopez less and less these days. Teofimo effing Lopez was once my dude, but his actions, man, it's always some racial tinge to his shit. Racial tinge against brothers, no less. So I'm certainly not fond of that shit. But more on that at a later time. This is a whole different fight that has nothing to do with him, and I hate that it briefly took that turn. I like what I've seen from the businessman, especially since the how high weed suspension. He's never looked sharper, stronger, or more impressive. And if he does to Berinchyk what he's been doing to these last few foes, that's undeniably impressive. Ain't nobody front on that. ESPN push. Got a captive Friday night, Valentine's Day ESPN audience. Broadcast starting at 8 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. I think we got Abdullah Mason, the return of Jared Big Baby Anderson, and Xander Zayas all on the undercard. I think we're in for a scrappy, entertaining evening, all in all. And if the businessman, if he's dead set on keeping his first round KO promise, he could get caught being overly aggressive. He could. He ain't gonna get hurt though. I mean, you look at Berinchy's KO ratio, 9 KOs. He ain't stopping nothing, but you can't play him cheap. So I'm expecting a proud, tough, gritty Ukrainian Berinchyk to have a very brief early moment, but ultimately he is the whittle guy here. He's the whittle guy. And when there's this level of size discrepancy between two pedigreed fighters, you'd be a fucking fool to go against the bigger man. So despite that Ukrainian tie, this particular fight ain't Usyk Fury. This ain't the David Goliath scenario where David comes out on top. I like Keyshawn by middle round stoppage, 6th, 7th, 8th round, somewhere in there. Or it's just going to become a one-sided 12-round ass whooping, assuming Berinchyk can just withstand it all. Either way, Keyshawn wins. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackberg Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.